This is a true story that happened in Taiwan. I'm from Kaohsiung, studying at a university in Tainan. Both Kaohsiung and Tainan are cities in southern Taiwan. They're next to each other, with Kaohsiung south of Tainan. One Friday in my second year, I didn't go home because I had something at school on Saturday. That night, after dinner with classmates, we walked around until midnight. We decided to go see the night view at Xiaogangshan Skywalk Park in Kaohsiung. Two of us, a guy named Ben and a girl named Q, were riding one scooter together. I was riding another one by myself. The funny thing is, none of us knew the exact way to get there. As we rode, we got lost and ended up at Agongdian Reservoir, which is also in Kaohsiung. This place is famous for ghost stories. Actually, I only found out after graduating how super creepy Agongdian Reservoir is at night. That night at Agongdian Reservoir, we gave up on going to Xiaogangshan. We just chatted there for a bit and thought, why don't we watch the water release instead? We were so naive then. How could there be a water release in the middle of the night? We followed the signs to the viewing area. Halfway there, Ben rode up next to me and said,
It's so late. Why don't we just go back to school?
So we ended our trip that night. The next week, Q, the girl from our night trip group, had a fever for 3 or 4 days. I was living my life as normal. A few days later, we met up again for dinner in Tainan City. When Ben saw me, he said,
You know, that night when I rode up next to you to talk, I saw a woman sitting on the back of your scooter out of the corner of my eye. And when we turned around, I looked in my mirror and saw a man standing next to Q, following my scooter. At that moment, we were too scared to say much.
We just wanted to get back quickly. After hearing this, I was really freaked out. When I went back to Kaohsiung, I even went to get a blessing to ward off evil spirits. One time, I went shrimp fishing with Ben and Willie. Shrimp fishing is a really popular activity in southern Taiwan. I remember it was already past 10 p.m. that day. We went to a shrimp fishing place in Tainan City. We parked outside and walked in. Strangely, even though it was past 10, there was still a Taiwanese opera show on stage. Across from the stage, only one table of people was still eating. The other tables just had empty dishes. I said, That's weird. Why are people still eating and watching opera so late? Ben replied, No way. That must be a show for ghosts. After that, we went into the shrimp fishing area to start fishing. But then Ben, I don't know what he was thinking, suddenly stood up, ran outside, then came back in. He told me,
Hey, it's true. There are really people watching the opera.
The night went on like that. The next evening, we had dinner together again. As soon as Ben saw me, he started cursing. It's all your fault. Yesterday, you said there were people watching outside, so I went to look. When I went to sleep that night, 3 people came into my dream and told me they were going to stay with me for a while. One night, Willie got back to his dorm around 3 or 4 a.m. after celebrating his birthday. Before sleeping, he read a news story about a headless female corpse case in Kaohsiung. Willie's bed was in front of a big window on the left. On the right side, facing the window, was an electric water heater. After he fell asleep, he had a dream. In the dream, he saw a woman with long hair in a white robe standing by the water heater. He woke up scared for a second. But when he woke up, he saw that the woman had come into the room and was moving towards his bed. She was reaching out to grab him. He jumped out of bed and ran to a temple near the dorm. He grabbed the temple keeper and told him what just happened. The keeper stared at him and said, That woman wants to grab you. Then Willie woke up again. This time, Willie realized he had been dreaming again because his 10 a.m. alarm was going off. After class that afternoon, he went to find Ben, who was a bit sensitive to spiritual stuff. Willie just asked Ben if he could come check out his place. Ben looked around Willie's place and said,
It's fine, let's go.
When they got outside, Ben said,
Actually, I don't think there's anything in the room. I just have a feeling there's a woman near the water heater.
After that, they both ran to temple to pray and get some protection charms. When Willie got back to his room with the charm, his whole body felt hot and sweaty, but he slept pretty well that night. One day, around 7 p.m., Willie, a junior schoolmate, and I went to pray at a famous Mazu temple in Tainan. In folk religion, Mazu is the goddess of the sea who protects fishers and sailors. As we were leaving, suddenly a guy came up to us and said,
Mazu told me 3 people would show up here at this time.
I thought, if you're going to lie, at least come up with a better reason. Then he pointed at me and said, your family god is with you. My mom had mentioned this before, so I was a bit surprised. Next, he told my junior schoolmate, your brother is always by your side. Later, she told me she really did have a great brother who passed away when she was little. Other temples had also said her brother was always with her, protecting her. The guy then said, even though he means well, it's not good for him to always be with you. We need to deal with this. To Willie, he said, you need to be careful. There's a girl following you. You owe her something, and she wants to take you away. At that moment, we all thought, wow, he's really spot on. My junior and Willie made plans to meet the guy the next morning and evening to sort things out. The next morning, around 9, we met at a temple in Tainan to deal with my junior's situation. I remember the guy showed up around 9:30. He bought some joss paper with his own money and went to the Guanyin Hall to ask for help. He asked Guanyin to take her brother to train by her side. After talking for a while, her brother agreed. We wanted to give the guy money for the joss paper, but he said no need. Then we went back to school for class. That evening, Willie and I got to the temple around 8. There was nobody inside, and it was really dark with just a bit of light. It looked super scary. The guy was late, and we waited for a long time before he showed up. He took Willie to the Ksitigirpa Bodhisattva statue and kept negotiating. Bodhisattva Ksitigirpa was foremost as great vow to help and deliver all beings. We found out that in his past life, Willie might have been a butcher who hurt this girl. That's why she kept looking for him, wanting Willie to pay for what he did. The guy talked to her for a long time before she finally agreed to let Willie go. Now they're all doing fine. If you want to see my videos faster, please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates.